how do we prevent content from, losing the human touch essentially? Because you see, sometimes content creators can overdo it, right? They can start using the AI way too much. How do they recognize where is the boundary that, okay, this should be done by human beings, this should be done by AI? Let us not mix both of them, because then people will not feel interested in that. If they sense that this is AI generated content, they will simply not feel connected, right? So how do they draw the boundary where to stop?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is the question, right? And I think as an industry, we're all wrestling with that at the moment. Like, how much is too much? What is it that you should be doing? Um, and I mean, I'm struggling with whether to tell people this or not because it sounds bad. But there are content humanizers now where we'll go through and do. I know. I'm just like saying stuff that will put me out of a job. That
Okay.
they go through and look at the patterns that are typical for
Okay.
AI, and then they kind of vary it. But I will say this: I did that the other day with ChatGPT with my content. I call it my content accelerator. It's the GPT I created for my company, and I said, humanize this content because I have to check it in AI detectors and it gives you a
Okay.
score, like
Okay.
writer.ai. They will score your
Okay.
content. I'm like, here's my content, ChatGPT. It says it looks like it's 80% written by humans and 20%
Okay.
by AI. Humanize
Okay.
this for me.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
watched what it did. I took its output and I went and put it back in the AI detector. It scored like 2% higher. I went back to
Okay.
ChatGPT. I said, "Yo, this is not human." That's what the AI director detector said. So like we went back and forth like 3 times, and then finally I'm like, "Screw it, I'm gonna do this myself." So of course I did it and did an edit. Right, I'm just tidying it up and adding my touches, and of course it scores 95% human content, which is high actually, because nothing's
Yeah.
some of our natural ways of writing are also going to be flagged as AI. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. And I would say often it depends on budget. So it's a
Right.
sad situation, but not everyone can afford a marketing department or a content marketing department. So if you can't, I think AI is great for you. But I always think you need to have that final tweak, that sparkle. It's the sparkle that you cannot produce with AI. Also, if you try writing with AI a lot, you'll see it repeating things over and over again. Like I tell my
Okay.
content accelerator, never use the word revolutionize and never use the word cybersecurity landscape because you see it
Okay.
repeated so much. So I'll give it a bunch of
Okay.
things not to say. It's
Right.
my
Right.
assistant.
That's, yeah, I think it's a good way of, and you have dropped a very good hint. Use the budget. If the budget is good, don't depend on AI. You add value on your own. If the budget is too less, like someone just wants to throw some content on the website and he doesn't care, probably use more AI to generate that content because you're not getting anything anyway. So
Sure.
maybe that's a good
Think of something
hint,
like a spec sheet. A spec sheet's
right?
a great thing to do with AI. And you can even have it suggest a layout. Like you've already got your specs. As a writer, believe me, I'm not going to win any awards for a spec sheet. Who cares? You need the information. Great use case for AI. Blogging, not a great use case for AI at all. Especially because if you want to be a thought leader, like wait till you
Mm,
see all these thought leaders just recycling AI
right.
content. Not going to happen. You need your first person perspective. You need your human empathy. So,
I think, yeah, that's the thing. AI can never be a thought leader because AI is based on patterns of the past. Only a human being can be a thought leader, and he can only kind of empathize, right? So that somehow human beings will always connect with that. And when you're writing content, let's say, because I suffered it myself, and when I'm writing on LinkedIn or writing a YouTube description, right, I tried using some chat GPT, but I didn't like it myself. So how can I expect my audience to kind of relate to it? Though the content was very well polished, all the keywords were
mhm.
there, as you mentioned, right? But also these kind of automated programs have the tendency to overdo those keywords and kind of be very repetitive because they are in the end just patterns, right? So generate the content using AI, maybe take some hints from it, but tweak it with your on your own and kind of add your value. Whatever you don't like yourself, don't expect others to like it, right? Kind of remove them, do some work, That way you will also be useful and kind of not get out of the
Exactly.
job, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
but really I think it's like it's up to content marketers to try to sense like where are we going with this? Where would we like to go with this? I'm also a
right.
co-editor of a publication called the AI Marketing Ethics Digest.
Okay,
And we talk
okay.
all the time about responsible use of AI. And it's a
Right,
big
right,
deal, and there are a lot of ethics involved. So this is like a developing area. And if you're a
right,
content marketer, I suggest you go out, read everything, read about responsible AI, read about AI ethics, and just remember that you do add value. You're not just a copy generating machine. I mean, some of
right,
us are, but any good writer, any good content marketer is not. They're strategic, they're emotional,
right,
they're connecting with people. It's a person to person kind of thing. But yeah, do all your outlines with ChatGPT.
right. True.
Do your style guide
You know,
compliant. Do the dumb stuff.
right.